Hi Frank, 2019 QG 5.5HGJAB 1038 liters 5500. Trying to readjust the governor after removing and cleaning the carb. I mess with the idle screw and speed adjust. I have it almost tuned, but the frequency under full load is only about 57 to 58 Hz, and voltage gets down to about 112 worst case. Would like to increase the frequency and voltage if possible without it hunting. No load reads 60 Hz and 120 volts. How to increase HC and voltage without hunting? THX. So much. Jeff.
Hello, thanks for requesting me. No load speed should be set to about 61 Hz. This will also bring the loaded speed up just a touch. If the droop is still too much, you can adjust the sensitivity by moving the governor spring a notch to the right. To properly set a governor requires the use of a load bank, but you can usually get them somewhat close without one. It is a very fine line between minimal droop and hunting. All you can do is play with it.
Thanks Frank. You're awesome. I do not have a load bank. Earlier I did move the spring position from the 4th slot from the right to 3rd position to see if it ran any better, but I didn't adjust the speed adjust and it still hunted. I will try that tomorrow. Question 1. Does doing this increase the HC and/or voltage? Turning the speed adjust nut clockwise, tightening, increases speed but then it hunts. Turning it counterclockwise eliminates the hunting but then HC and voltage are too low. Doing anything drastic with the idle screw or speed adjust nut in either direction causes the different faults. Question 2. I have the idle screw set so it doesn't hit the arm. Under full load it has about a good 1/16 of an inch gap. Does this matter? Should it be anything different? Question 3. Right now it runs pretty smooth, but I'm just running a little low out of spec HC and voltage under full load. Do you agree with that based on 120 volts, 60 Hz no load, and worst case 112 volts, 57 Hz full load? Just worried about electronic devices in the RV. I'm calling a full load 2 ACs, microwave, regular home type fridge, inverter all running. Sure appreciate you. Jeff.
This is all very difficult to understand until you've had a couple hundred adjustments under the belt. Frustration is a normal part of the process. The adjusting nut at the top of the governor spring is the speed adjust. The teeth on the governor arm are the sensitivity adjust. Droop is not only measured by the change in frequency, but also in how fast the generator recovers between no load, half load and full load. With no load on the genset, max voltage should be no more than 125. With a full load, min voltage should be no less than 112. With no load, max frequency should be no more than about 62 to 63. With a full load, min frequency should be no less than about 58. Recovery should be no more than about 2 seconds when going from no load to full load. Whenever adjusting either speed or sensitivity, the adjustment affects both. But adjusting speed affects sensitivity more than adjusting sensitivity affects speed. For example, using a scale of 1 to 10, adjusting speed by a 5 affects sensitivity by a 3. Adjusting sensitivity by a 5 affects the speed by a 1. These are not actual comparisons, just a reference. You should never touch what you are calling the idle speed screw, the screw on the carb itself. This is not an idle adjust screw. It is a minimum idle stop screw and is a safety feature to protect the engine. That is the very reason I am a firm believer in that these settings should not be accessible, except by a trained/certified technician. Too many people who think they know exactly what they are doing, don't. The minimum idle stop screw need to be set so that the minimum speed of the genset is about 51 to 53 Hz, with no load on the genset and the genset warm. But it is a time setting, you only have a set period of time to set it before the genset shuts down. When properly set, there will always be a gap between the stop arm and stop screw.
Thanks, Frank. Unfortunately, I already messed with the idle stop screw several days ago. After cleaning the carb before messing with any settings, it was still hunting. So I figured I had nothing to lose. Local dealer said just change the carb. It did have gunk around the little holes of the main jet. It is all clean now. There is one jet that is sealed over with a metal plate with these newer ones, but it is up above the bowl and I have ran a ton of seafoam spray and gas additive through it. I had it running pretty good until I put the air box and filter back on, now it's randomly hunting again under load. I do have a gap on the idle screw when it's running okay, but when it's hunting it looks like it goes up and hits it. Do you think it needs any further adjustment to stop the hunting? I have tried different sensitivity settings in both directions and played with the speed control setting in both directions of different sensitivities. It seems best in the original slot, but still hunts, not horribly but still hunts. Am I close? I have it running smooth with just an AC or microwave. But it hunts somewhat fast with both running. Does the idle stop screw play into it? It has a gap when it's not hunting. Thanks, Frank. Sorry I'm a pain. Dealer just wants to change the carb. I'm just not crazy about that without knowing for sure.
These carbs are not supposed to be opened up or adjusted. In some localities, it is actually against the law to do so. There is much more to the carb than just the few parts you can see. There are a lot of internal passages that are simply not accessible. Even using an ultrasonic cleaner results in a failure rate of over 50%. I don't even try to clean them anymore, it just isn't worth the time and effort. Yes, the carb is expensive, but my time is valuable. Not much worse than spending the time to disassemble, clean and reassemble a carb, only to find out it still doesn't work. As I stated earlier, there is a very fine line between minimal droop and hunting. Too often this line just can't be reached, and the carb needs to be replaced.
Frank, to hear you say that makes me feel much better about taking it in to let them replace it and set it up. I guess I will just do that. Thank you so much for your time and expertise. I will ask for you again in the future. Take care.
You too. Take care, my friend.
Hi Frank, just an update. I ordered a new carb from Amazon. It was around $50. It had good reviews. I thought, what the heck, I'll try it. Got it primed 2 days later. It looks identical to the OEM one. It took me 15 minutes to install. I set the sensitivity and speed control exactly where it was before I mess with it all. I did not touch the idle stop screw on the new carb. It fired right up and works like a champ. We're camping with it right now and it's still running great with no hunting. Frequency around 59 to 60 Hz and voltage steady around 118 with a full load. No hunting even going from no load to full load. Thank you so much for all the sound advice. You have a friend and fan forever in Utah. Take care.
Good deal. I'm glad it worked out for you. I've been working on these things for over 20 years, so that was nothing new to me. But I will admit that I am not at all a fan of aftermarket carbs. I've been burned way too many times.
Totally understand. I just figured with Prime I can easily return it, so I didn't have much to lose. The strange thing was that the two gasket sides were kinda scratched up, like it was used or remanufactured. Yet it's working well. But the advice to replace it was spot on. Thanks again.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.